Hashtag not sponsored. I bought 6 catfish rods you may like. Now I know a lot of catfish rod companies make the big claim that their rods can't be broken. And I will say this, most of the time, they're right. The catfish rods these days are definitely made differently than they were in the past. And the rods that I got here are, once I get it out of the package, they are B&M Silver Cat Elites, medium heavy. And I tell you what, these rods are an incredible value. I do know that these are not $20 to $30 rods. Although in January, some of the Rural Kings around here might actually have these discounted that low. Currently, one of the Rural Kings near me has a bunch of these rods for $70 each. And if you look at them on Amazon, they can be cheaper. Now, I know the Amazon prices go up and down all the time, and I think that's one of the reasons why I can't tell you the exact price. Another reason is because I'm an Amazon associate. So if you want to get one of these or look at them on Amazon, I can give you an associate link, which will give me a small commission if you buy one of these rods or anything else through that link. I don't talk about that too terribly often, and I really don't put the links in my description anymore. I think it deranks my videos on YouTube. I noticed when I started putting links to products in my description, views started going down, and then when I removed the links, views went back up. Some channels it doesn't hurt, but for whatever reason, it hurts my channel. So if you want a link, just ask. Now with these being so cheap, you're not really paying someone else to catch a state record or a world record. You're also not paying for fancy colors. Most of the rods that are fancy colors or have companies that pay out if you catch a state record, they are over $100 each. It is possible that this is the same rod because most of the rods come from the same factory. And funny thing, recently, a bunch of rods started breaking from multiple different brands. I think a bad batch actually happened. However, the companies did take care of it really quick. So kudos to their customer service. And I'm quite sure B&M would be the same way if these happen to be part of the bad batch blanks. I really hope they're not. Now I'm going to give you guys a closer look at this rod. You can see the EVA foam grip here. You might recognize it as the same pattern on some other rods. Got a metal reel seat on here. Haven't even taken the plastic off. You can see Silver Cat Elite. Nice red blank. Stainless steel eyes. Nice tip, and it's white. My buddy Ty uses these exclusively, and he has put in the boat multiple 100-pound class fish in the last 2 years alone. I've also seen people pull like massive logs out of the river with these rods. So it's really a good value for a catfish rod. I know I'm sounding like a B&M salesman. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I've just had them in the past and liked what I had in the past. And I figured I'd do something new for 2023. And what I intended on doing, which is going to be a huge work in progress, I wanted to get 4 dragging specific combos. I wanted 4 rods that I could keep on my boat at all times that are rigged up for dragging, and then have 6 rods rigged up for bottom fishing. So I'm probably going to be buying 4 more of these rods sometime in the future and 3 more of these reels. With the dragging, I'm going to actually convert over to braid, which means I don't need a very large reel. I don't need something with a lot of line capacity. Although this reel does have quite a bit of line capacity as is. And it's just the low profile Okuma Coldwater. I've had these before in the past and I really like them. I can't make them work as a bottom rig because it just doesn't hold enough line. Even the round Coldwaters are kind of low on the line side. I would guess they have 180 yards of 30-pound monofilament. This will have 150 yards of braid with a monofilament backing. I could probably put a lot more on if I wanted to. And I'm using Suffix 832. I always like using Suffix. I get less wind knots with Suffix braid, which is what I put on my skipjack rods and my musky rods. And I'm going to put high-vis green on this reel. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how I do that. Alright, I put the reel on the rod. It is kind of small for it. I might think about upgrading to the Coldwater SS, the 400 size, because it does look kind of small on here. But it will work for now, and it does have a big handle. Now I've got 12-pound monofilament here that I'm going to use as a backer. I'm not going to do anything scientific. I'm just going to go for it. Alright, how I put this on here, I loop it around the bail. I put a knot on the end, and then do a knot around the main line, and then pull it all together. It's really hard to show that with this thin line. I'm sure there's other videos that will show that really good. And I really don't have much room to work here either. Alright, I don't know if you can see this now. Just the overhand knot over the main line after I've looped it around. So it just makes a big loop and just pull it together. There we go. You need a monofilament backing whenever you're using braid so the braid doesn't slip. This spool is meant for braid, however, I don't want to take that chance. And I've only got so much braid. So I'm just going to fill this up so far and then put braid on it. Okay, I put quite a bit on here. Maybe I put too much, I don't know. But I'm going to leave it at that and put braid on the rest of it. Now it's a good idea to get braid as tight as possible on the spool, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that here. So I might have to go somewhere and get someone to help me put braid on this and then get back with you guys. Alright, I may have went a little bit overboard on the backing line because I've got maybe 50 yards left. So I've only got about 100 yards of 65-pound braid. I may have to rethink this in the future. Now I'm going to make a proper dragging rig. Alright, this may be a case of don't do exactly what I did. I'm working with what I have. So I've got these spooks I bought on a failed glow-in-the-dark spook experiment I did a while back. So I'm going to use that as a float because I don't have any EVA floats. And I've got an A-Dot Team Catfish double action circle hook. It's straw snelled on here. I added a couple of beads because this will slide down to the hook. I think it will work fine to keep it off the bottom. I could use something bigger with a little bit more buoyancy, maybe like a balloon or what I normally use, the EVA floats. And I've got a really, really long leader line here. This is 80-pound leader line, 80-pound monofilament, which is what I kind of want. I want it as far away from the sinker, the drifting sinker, or the dragging sinker, as far away as possible. Being this long could cause problems. I might get more hookups on the bottom with this. I guess I will find out. Now I did put beads on this end because I don't have a braid specific sinker slide. These Team Catfish sinker slides will get cut into by the braid. I put 2 beads on it. Maybe that will help. I don't know if it will help. But I do have a 1/0 swivel, 2 beads, and sinker slide with this drifting stick. This one's 1.75 ounces. In the future, I might get heavier. I think I need just as long, but just a little bit heavier. But that is kind of what I'm going to try as a dragon rig. I know some people will put like a chain swivel in the middle of something like this to help keep it from twisting too badly. And of course, like I said, this might be too long. At least it's short enough to put onto the rod. I can reel it up, and my sinker is near the top of the rod. I'm definitely going to have to order more of those EVA floats. I'll show you one right here. This rig is just about as long as that other one. And I think the spook might actually be bigger than my EVA float. There's the Whisker Seeker EVA foam float thingy. These EVA ones last longer than foam. And I got a rattle on here. The spook has a rattle in it on that one. Leader line isn't quite as long. Maybe I should have made it this long. I don't know. I will be playing around with these rigs as time goes on. And I don't have any beads on this one. And I've got monofilament. And it's a sinker slide with a bunch of algae on it on monofilament. It does have a bead to protect this knot, but there's no bead on the other side. Both sides of the swivel is a polymer knot. Same thing on this other rig. And I don't tie to the spook because there's no metal, there's no wire in that spook. See if I can get this to show up on camera. There's no wire in that spook. So a big 100-pound catfish would probably pull the spook apart. And I don't want that happening. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to do next. I'm not exactly sure yet. I do have some time to think about this. I am publishing this video maybe 3 or 4 days after recording it. However, I do have multiple videos already recorded with fish caught and everything else that will be published in the future. One of them is a dragging video, and of course, these rods are not going to be in it. I'm also going to be turning in my boat to the dealership soon to get some work done to it. That's why I'm trying to get a bunch of scheduled videos for the future. And definitely let me know if you have any questions about any of my setups. Maybe I'll do another Sunday video about something else. Now, as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch my video. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited I got these rods, and I'm ready to catch some big cats on them, or big stripers. You never really know what I might actually catch in the future. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time. That's the ticket.